This was the fastest I've ever seen. Wow. My goodness. Where were you guys? Around the corner? I just flicked it on. I was just going to clean my glasses. You guys are amazing. I wasn't sure if I'm going to do a live talk today because I got a bunch of other things I got to take care of. But I said, you know, I can always postpone for an hour. Let me see if I can get this done. Well, I guess not. So, give me a moment, guys. I thought I'll have time. Gee, this is getting worse and worse. That should do. All right. So let's see who we have here. Excalibur 1, David, hi. Marielos, hello dear. Reese, hello. Alexandra, hello dear. Joy, hello to you. Mika, hello dear. David, hi. Boyan, good evening, he says. Good evening to you, dear. Tiffany, hello Tiffany. Tiffany, have you been here before? I think you've been here once before, but it's been a while, I guess. And Marielus says, haha, beat all of you. How, Marielus? Excalibur and David were first and second, and you made it right there behind them. Mariella says, you should do a mega laugh with me. Well, we'll get there next time because you were just there, you know. Mika says, just stopping by to say hello, and was really hoping to beat Excalibur today. YouTube took too long to notify me. Next time must get back to work. Next time I have to get back to work. 1 more hour to go. Okay, if you're still here, then join us after you finish your work. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. Excalibur says, oh my goodness, I've started the war. You sure did. Marilis says, no, I was first according to my list. Oh, really? My list shows Excalibur first, David second, Marilis third. Either way, I think it must have been, you know what? I think you must have, all 3 of you hit it on the same time, but the system simply just puts one and then next and then next. Tiffany says, no, I emailed you on Facebook last week. My first time. Oh, I see. And did you get an answer, Tiffany? Did I respond? I always respond everything unless I haven't seen yours, but maybe I've forgotten that I have responded. Reese says, no one will ever beat Excalibur. Nasro, hello Nasro, says, hi there, good to catch you live stream. I'm very happy because just finished my last class I made. Okay, good. And Excalibur says, oh, thanks, Reese. Okay, so now David says, just stopping by to say hi and wish everyone a wonderful evening, day or day. Stay strong and positive. Life to value, to waste it, reminiscing about X and feeling down. Very good. Tiffany says, yes, I emailed you about jealousy and envy. Oh, yes, I believe I did send you a couple of videos to watch on that. Yes, okay, I remember now. And Robert says, Mehran, I have Psyche question to you. Okay, let's shoot. Guys, before we go on, could everybody click on like if you haven't done it yet? Will you? Just right now. Take a moment, click on like. Mika says, Mehran, I still wanted to ask and get your thoughts about how to keep the ego in check. Perhaps next time. Okay, when you show up next time, then we will chat about it. And Excalibur says, what the heck, 2 dislikes. Really? I have 2 dislikes? That's all right. That means we're doing something right. Because if we haven't even started speaking and we have 2 dislikes, that means these people are not really rating us according to the content. They just don't like my channel. That's all. Or for some reason they're offended, like maybe because I have tea or because I speak. Reese says, someone on here asked yesterday, how do we keep our ego in check? But you didn't have time to answer in detail. Hopefully you can today. Reese, that was Mika, and I will respond it when Mika herself is online next time, whenever she's also here. That's a good topic to discuss. Now, Robert says, sometimes I feel in my mind I have a... Now, where is that question that somebody said that I have a psychic question for you, and then I didn't see it? Oh, that was Robert. Okay, okay, Robert here. Robert says, sometimes I feel in my mind I have a... I have it to fighting a couple of times. I'm sorry, could you redo that sentence? Sometimes I feel in my mind I have a two fi things. I have a 2 fi things a couple of times. Okay, I don't get that. As in sometimes walk over some sort of road twice or do something so nothing happens. I got it. So you have some kind of a OCD, or you have some kind of a transient thoughts that if I walk over this brick 2 times back and forth, then I have assured that what I'm afraid to happen or what I don't prefer, don't like it, will not happen. So you kind of thinking that in that way you have this superstition. Am I correct? Have I understood your question correctly? Or would you like to rephrase it, if you will? In the meantime, I go to Reese, and then I'll come back to you when I see if I've understood your question correctly. Yeah, Reese. Excalibur says, he's a great metaphor, Mehran. In video games, if you meet enemies, it means you're progressing in the game. That's right. Game applies to life. That's right, that's right. Look, you know, don't worry about the people who put thumbs down or thumbs up. I only look at the thumbs ups. That's all. The thumbs downs, they're no good for me, so why should I focus on them? And I always rely on the truth rather than what the opinion of people are. The truth is that we have a good content. The truth that we have almost 14,000 subscribers. The truth is that we have less than 1% thumbs down. Like if I have 200, 300 thumbs ups, I have like 2 or 3 thumbs down. So that means those people are just, they have a thumbs down life. That doesn't have anything to do with what other people are doing. They just, something is not clicking in them. And even if they thumb down the content, doesn't matter. People have different taste and different understanding. And I always consider that they don't have the ability to understand the message. So it has nothing to do with the message. It has to do with their ability to understand the message. That's how I look at it. All right. Robert says, okay, and then Robert says OCD. Yeah, okay, that's right. That's right. Robert says, sometimes I feel as if I don't walk over some bridge, road, or through some sort of way I would get sick. So I do because I feel scared of something happening, like it's OCD. Yeah, okay. All right. So let me ask you this. You know that I have a video on OCD on the channel, so you can maybe search for OCD and you find that, so you can look at that. It's kind of elaborate and it's very helpful, I think. But you all know that I am not a medical practitioner, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist, so therefore you take it with that in mind. If you have a problem, you consult with your physician. Here we discuss what I think, what my opinion, personal opinion is, based on my experiences and based on my research, and that has nothing to do with any academic medical expertise. So, having said that, so I want to ask you this. Do this next time, just to prove to yourself that instead of I'm gonna walk on this thing 2 times so that something bad will not happen to me, if that power exists in that action of you doing it, or if that power exists in you touching light switch 5 times, or if that such power that would avoid something bad happen to it, and because of that you do certain actions, if that such power to keep you safe exists in you walking back and forth 3 times on a block in a pavement, or if that such power exists if you hit your head 10 times to the tree, if that such power exists in you looking at something more than once because you think you got to do that, if that such power exists in all these behavior, I want you to do this. Next time, say, I want to have $10,000 in my bank account, and because I want that, I'm going to touch the light switch 5 times, or go over that brick 5 times. The same things that you do to be safe, I want you now to do it differently. Just say, I'm doing it so I will get that $10,000 I want in my bank tomorrow, or I will do that so I can fly without anything, just go up, elevate myself, that power. Now, if such things happen, then you're right by doing what you're doing to be safe by going over that break. That break must be some mother of a break that has such tremendous, amazing powers that can give us that. Show me that break, because I actually want to walk over. There's a bunch of things I want in life that I haven't been able to get it. One of them is to have million subscribers. So perhaps next time that you're walking over that thingy that helps you to be safe, just say, I walked this a few times so Mehran can have 1 million subscribers in 1 week. If that happens, the bloody well, I'm going to join you and go over that block 5 million times just because it has the power, if I have to. So by doing that, you prove to yourself that all you're doing, you're following a transient thought, which that comes with the pursuit and wish that all of us have for psychological security, which includes, you know, security, physical security, and so on and so forth. And that's because we love our life. When you get OCD like this, it just means you love your life, you're happy with your life, and you love it so much that you're afraid to lose it. And usually mind is looking for trouble, and when you like and love something, the transient thought starts attacking that what you love, that what is your strongest point, that what it is that you're really interested in. And the fear of losing it is such a devastating thing to you and such a threat that your mind, your negative mind, acts on it, picks it up, and goes to bat to try to destroy it. That's the negative thought, because you think, if I think of it this way, it won't happen. If I'm aware of it, then I'll do something that it won't happen. It's just your defense mechanism that creates that thinking in you to make you think that somehow you got to go through a ritual to convince yourself, or to satisfy yourself, or please yourself, or secure yourself that this will not happen. Because all that thought about it happening, whatever it is a transient thought that will never have anything to do with your thoughts. Just because you thought of it, now you're scared that it will happen. Now you're going to go over that thing 5 times or hit your head to the wall a few times. Why? Because if your thought, just think about it, why you shouldn't do it is because if your thought had such powers that by thinking or coming to your mind, those transient thoughts, something bad would have actually happened, then once you use it, the reverse of it. If that's your thoughts, and if that's your brain, it's so powerful that can make bad things happen, why can't it make good things happen? So why don't you switch and say, okay, now I'm going to think that something that I really want should happen, and for that, I'm going to go over this thing a few times. You will see that neither one would have anything to do with your thought, with walking over that thing, because you just tested it. Because if it has a power for this, it has a power for that. It has a power to make something not happen. It has a power to make something do happen. But if it doesn't, that means it's bullshit. All it is you are fearful in losing something that you really love and you like and you enjoy it and you want it. Then you have no other way, but your watcher is, you're trying to think that whatever your thought comes to your mind, that's deity, that's beyond you, that's outside of you, that's more powerful than you. Then you got to please that. In order to combat it or please it, you listen to it, you believe it, you respect it, and then you go create another thought in your watcher that says, now if you go and kick your ass 5 times on that thingy, I will make it so it will not happen. That thought that it came to your mind that said it might something bad happen to you. These are all your own thought. There is nothing from out there that is actually giving you messages. These are your own fears. You are actually finding yourself helpless, and you're creating these superstitious stuff from your transient thoughts and trying to combat it by complying with the idea that comes to your head that if you do this, this won't happen. This time, have some balls and say, listen, mother, whatever, I'm not going to do that thing, and I'm going to see if you're going to make something bad happen to me or not. For once and for all, you break that trend of thought down and you challenge it. Yeah? Say, listen, I'm not going to go over this, and in the next 10 steps, I'm going to see if you have the power to make me fall. You will test it and you will see that there's no such thing in the world. It's only your thoughts, and thoughts don't have reality. Thoughts, because they happen in our brain, and it's part of you, and you believe in yourself, you don't doubt yourself, you love yourself, you think you're credible, because the thought happened in your head, you think therefore the thought also has credibility because you have credibility. Then you believe your thought, you think that the thought has actuality. Thought wants to replace the actuality, and that's why it comes in, especially negative thought, and you should not simply fall for that, because thought is just thought. It has no mandate, it has no power. It's just thought. But because we are programmed, our mind is programmed to look for trouble, when a negative thought comes in, the mind believes it because, oh, that's my mandate, I'm looking for trouble, that's a trouble, and doesn't care and doesn't know that it's not a real trouble, it's an idea of trouble, but it acts on it. And it tries to do something and makes you believe that there's trouble. And you don't know what to do. You create another thing to combat the fictitious trouble as well. And that goes on. When you do that a few times, it becomes your conditioning. And after conditioning, you actually believe it. Why? Because few times that you actually did go over that thing and the bad thing didn't happen, which it wouldn't have happened anyhow because of all bullshit it was. But because you did it and the bad thing didn't happen, you conditioned yourself to say, see, it didn't happen because I walked over that thing. And then you believe that. Then you will always continue it because forever, every time you did that thing, it didn't happen. But you never said to yourself, I'm not going to do that thing. And if you hadn't done it, it wouldn't happen either. It wouldn't have happened either. Nothing bad would have happened either. But you didn't give that chance. You always fell for it, and you always did that action of 5 times up and down, on and off this light switch, or walking over that brake 5 times or 2 times, and you obviously nothing bad was going to happen anyhow. And you did that. Now you're giving the credit to that thing, and then you say, see, now that is something I have to do. Now, next time, say, okay, I want something good, and you walk over that thing, and you'll see it wouldn't happen. And the next time, if you think if you don't do certain things, something bad would happen, just don't do that certain things, and see if something bad will happen. And you will see none of that shit is true. It's only your mind that is playing with your own because of your insecurity and because of you love what your life is all about. You want things to go right and you have no other power. You use all these ideas because it comes to your head and you say, so what's the harm of it? So I do it. Yeah, the harm of it is that you're looking like a jackass in the street and keep going doing some silly thing. That's the harm of it. Otherwise, that thing would have not happened whether you walk on that thing or not. So understanding that will help you, that you're challenging that negative thought, transient thoughts, and you getting to the bottom of it. Now, watch that OCD video that I have. It may explain a little bit more. Otherwise, for now, I think we addressed that a little bit enough for today. I hope that would be something for you to consider. And Robert says, thank you, Mehran. Let's see. Bernard said hello from South Africa. Hello, Bernard. Stian says, greetings from Norway. Hello, Stian. I hope you're not laying in your bed, Stian. Was that you that we were talking about it? I hope you're off your ass and doing things. Robert says, to do things couple, yeah, okay. Okay. Okay, good. So I understood it correctly. Nastro says, who doesn't like you? You're fantastic, really. And they're losers, in my opinion. Thank you, Nastro. I enjoy the positive vibe. Thank you. I appreciate it. Robert says, should I try to fight that OCD fear? It's getting really worse, and Mehran, you're the only person I can rely on. Well, you know, I think you mentioned, you'd said that before while I was explaining, so I think I've already answered your question here. And do watch that OCD video that I have on the channel. And Robert says, thank you, Mehran, you're the best. Thank you. And Bernard says, ha ha ha, okay. Oh, I don't know what that ha ha was, but whatever, we'll take it. Robert says, male 33 US. Okay. Generous Mehran, how to choose a career path. The balance between talents and income. Personally, I like child development and social psych, but they take lots of expense for little income. So what is your question really? Is it to choose what you love to do or what gives you money? Because I really won't be able to tell you what to choose because I don't know what you like and what you like to do, and all that information is missing here. But If your question is that what you like to do doesn't give you enough money and you wonder if you should choose something else, well, that's a different question. I don't know even what year in university you are, how long it takes to finish the alternative to what you like to do. So all that information is unknown to me. But I think when you love something, the money will eventually come because you become really good at it. And there's always a shortage of quality of service, quality of knowledge. But the plus of it is that when you love doing something, you actually do it even if you don't have time to do it. Look at me right now. I really have a bunch of other things to do out there, but I calculated that I can do this and then also attend to these other things that I have to do as well. Why? Because I love this. It makes me feel good to use my expertise in something, to use my talent in something, and while I'm giving, I'm also receiving. What am I receiving? The fact that I'm in line with what I want to accomplish in this life, in journey of life, my journey. That is what I'm getting back, not monetary. As you know, there's zilch coming out of this discussion in financial, in economic, in monetary values. Nothing, zero, right? You all know that. Now, of course, these talks will help to put me on the map. People will get to know me and they will book a consultation, Skype, and that's where the economic benefits might realize in some levels. Not much, but in some levels. It adds to the whole activity of the site and this and so. So I'm building. So obviously there is some good benefit to it. But you all know, and I know, you can feel it, that is not the only motivation that I have for being here. Because the benefits of it are so small and it's taken so long that if that was really the economic advantage was the only thing, well, I wouldn't be doing it for this long now. It's been now 5 years, and of course, there is no big economic benefits here, as you all know, right? So, but there is something better than that here. I have a business that I make, I make my living, and for the past 28 years, I have clients that I, help with, legalities of real estate and so on. And that's where I make my money. And there's big money in there, and I've made big money there. However, between you and I, now the whole world knows it, I don't like the job. I'm really good at it. I'm very informative. I'm very good in the law. I know the way it should be done, and it's done perfectly. All my clients are very pleased with the way I help them from A to Z, and I babysit them, and I make sure that they get the best service ever possible. Very honest, informative, and careful. But that's my profession. That's my professional ethics. But in reality, I hate the damn thing. I don't like the charlatans in this business. I don't like the people who are not honest. I don't like the fact that they don't listen to the market. They don't always do what they're supposed to do as I recommend, and then it lingers, and there's a matter of loyalty in this business. Most people are not really loyal. You spend the time and eventually you see they either change their mind or they did the business through somebody else because somebody gave them some kind of a colorful picture of some, created greed in them and, took them away for that. So the whole business of it, I don't like it. But it's got lots of money. But this one doesn't have much money at the moment. It will, though. Be patient. However, I love the enjoyment of feeling that somebody at somewhere in the world is being helped with certain pain that he or she is stuck with and doesn't know how to come out. I love that feeling of holding someone's hand and pulling him or her out of the pit that they are falling in, and they have a problem to come up, climb up. That's where I get my thing. It's not financial, it's not economic. The other one is financial, lots of money in it, but the enjoyment I get from this that doesn't have that money, it's just undescribable. Did I say that? Undescribable. So, the merit of this discussion with you is, think about how you want to take this journey of life. Not about what you think you should do so you can have more stuff. Yeah, stuff is important. I know. I'm all for it. I love luxury, I love money, and I love all these things that will give me the lifestyle that I want. I'm really into it, and you have no idea how many ideas and how many entrepreneurship in my life I have attended to and what plans I have. But that beside the point, still you want a quality in life. And that quality in this journey of life comes from spending this journey on the way to where you want to go with the quality that you want it to be. And no matter how much money you make, if through making that money you get lots of stress and hardship and bullshit that you have to put up with, then you really didn't gain much. You gained the money, but you didn't gain the quality of life, which really brings that happiness, which you're trying to bring that happiness from the money. It doesn't come from the money. Money is good and is part of it, but it's not the whole entirety of reasons where you can have a good lifestyle. So, short and long is, go for what you love and become really good at it. It will take longer for you to make the kind of lifestyle that you want, because you may have to be innovative. Maybe you don't necessarily have to work for a company that gives you that little bit of money in doing what you love to do, but perhaps you can find a new way to make money from what you love to do. Now, in the meantime though, while you're pursuing that, you may find other interests, because right now at the moment, you're in this juncture of life with this level of consciousness, with this level of interest, with this level of evolvement. But as you're working towards what you love, to get to know more about it and become trained for it and so on, you are also evolving. You may at one point in time, while you're preparing for what you love to do, you may actually change your mind. That's when you will come to understanding that something else that made you change your mind from this and you're not interested in that other thing may be what you need to do. But in the meantime, follow what you think you're going to be good at, because at least you get that satisfaction. But if you follow the money that you think you're going to make lots of money, maybe you wouldn't make money, and then you also didn't have the satisfaction of doing what you liked. So what'd you get? Is there a guarantee that if you do that thing you make lots of money? Well, there are lots of things that can give you money, but it doesn't make you feel good. There are lots of illegal things. Who wants to do anything illegal? So it's not really money. It's about being able to give the society some positive feedback, some positive effect, influencing your society in a positive way by doing good work, doing things that helps people develop and grow. So it's not about the money, because lots of people are making money in bad ways, and where does it go? It doesn't help the society, it doesn't help their consciousness, it's against the law. So that sort of thing obviously is out of the window. What's left is making money through good ways, but you're not enjoying doing that work. Well, what is life about? It's about really certainty, enjoyment, and experience of life, right? You're not living to make money, you're making money to live. So on that note, follow what you really love and enjoy. It gives you a quality of happiness every day you wake up, rather than wake up saying, oh shit, I gotta go to work. Instead, you want to say, oh good, okay, another day, let's see what I can do today. That's the kind of job that you want. That's as much as I can help you, Robert, on that question, I believe. Okay. Bernard, 1 million. Yes, that's right. We wishful thinking, but hey, you know, it's been done before. And Robert says, I'm going to share your video. Haha, Mehran, you made my day. Thank you. My pleasure. My pleasure. And okay, now. Robert says, I'm great with toddlers. I might do speech therapy, but I struggle that I might have something important to offer the world. It's not about something important. It's about if you offer your best. Your best is always important. It doesn't matter if it's important the way you think important means, the way your consciousness have been conditioned to think what important is in the form of recognition, in form of fame, in form of money. No, important is that you're doing your best. That's all. Every single person in this life is supposed to only focus on doing his or her own best. Not better than somebody else, or better than in what echelon it may be. The expression or meaning of that important thing. Just about doing your best. And that is the most important thing you can add. That's all. It's very simple. Robert says, I wish, Mehran, everybody knew about this channel. You're like a genius and you really helped me right now. Well, I'm delighted. You guys can make this channel go on the map. I don't know if you got friends in radio stations, you got friends in television stations, you got friends in some editorial, you got friends in some big sites and or Facebook pages that are very successful. I don't know. If you really want to help this channel, if you're really happy with what's effect it has on you, then talk to those people that you know. Reach out and introduce them. Or maybe some companies that you don't even know, but they're news companies. Reach them and say, listen, this is what's happening here. And then maybe they will take your idea and then, promote the channel in some way. So it's all about you guys not limiting yourself with the abilities that you personally have, but get in touch with some local channels. Get in touch with some local television or radio shows. They're all looking for news. They are short of news. They're coming up with some garbage stuff just to fill in time and air. There are places they want to fill the air. So give them this idea. Introduce it. Talk with them. If you make these efforts, that is exactly your wish will come true. If you really wish that for this channel, then make these kind of efforts when you have the time and use it. And then swing us way up in the air with the help of everybody who wants to see this channel succeed. I'm doing my part with the content, and I'm also doing some hopefully new advertisement policies in Los Angeles and so on radio shows, and then we'll eventually take it on radio for question and answer, and we'll see how that goes. But then you guys are more important than what I can do. So see what you can do, and thank you ahead of time for that. Paul says, what is this? I see something blue here. Oh my goodness, Paul. Thank you. But it's not necessary, but I understand. It's very kind of you. Okay, now we're at Paul Mihaita. He says, what do you think about veganism? What is the healthiest way to eat? Well, very good question. I personally like and wish to get all my nutrition from vegetables for many reasons. One reason is that when I think about the animals, I can see they're living beings. And I'm not sure if they're here only for my benefit. But I have to say, I do eat meat. I still do. Fish, chicken, turkey, beef, all of them. But every time I do, if I think of it, I have a guilt feeling. And that's getting more. That's one of the reason that I do want to get my nutrition from vegetable. The second reason is that vegetable eating is clean. It's good for my blood, it's good for my vein, it's good for not elevating bad cholesterols, it's good for not being harmful to the organs, and taking the load of work away from heart and liver and kidneys and all the other things, and reduces all the hazards that all these other forms of nutrition may have, the fat and this and that, so forth. But then again, there are some things that I cannot easily attain from vegetables, and the kind of life that we live in, and we don't necessarily have always time to cook ourselves, so we rely on the food that is out there, and out there mostly is all meat. I take good amount of time trying to find something that gives me the protein that I want, and it's not meat. And I go to stores and restaurants, I just can't bloody find it. So it's an ordeal. But if I knew enough recipe, and if I wasn't lazy enough, if I wasn't lazy and would be able to have all the ingredients and recipes and would get my enough protein from vegetables and know how to do it, well, that would be different. Or if there was a store that would have all these vegetarian food, without tofu. Tofu is not good for men. I mean, soy, as I understood it from the researchers and cardiologists and doctors and so on, only fermented soy could be maybe okay, but in general, soy is not a good idea for men. So I'm limited for that as well. So therefore, I love my food all to be vegetable. First of all, I love vegetables. I love them more than meat. I love them more than anything else in food. I adore them. I understand them. I've read on them, and I like them, the taste of it. And even the most simple vegetables that nobody likes, I like vegetables. But the idea is, how much of it can I have in order to get that protein that I want? I'm not like a horse that can eat all day. You're still on the go. So that's my answer for that. I prefer vegetables, and I wish I would be able to incorporate. And by and I don't eat that much meat anyhow, but sometimes I feel like I really need it, especially that I go to the gym. I try to keep fit, and then the concentration of protein in meat is so good and high that a little bit of it does the job, versus me going and finding these vegetables and hoping that I get the same amount of protein in there. I hope that was something that did justice to your question. Now, Tiffany says, I know what I'm looking for in a relationship. Well, that's number one step. I met someone who matches my requirements, but only know him for a month. I'm ready to commit to him. I'm moving too fast. Am I moving too fast? Yes. Is it okay at my age? What is your age? Let's see. What is your age? Tiffany? I don't see that information here. Tiffany. Okay, I don't know your age, Tiffany. So, regardless of what age is, process selection is the same. So you cannot just simply because infatuated with somebody for a month. I mean, this person, whoever it is, took him that many years in order to develop the consciousness that he has. And suddenly you think you can get to know that person in 1 month, whatever has been his conditioning and the content of his consciousness, 1 month. And out of that 1 month, how many times have you guys met? And how many situations have you guys really examined yourself or been interacted in? A couple of dates here and there for an hour or two? Or maybe you had some intimate relationships and you think now because of intimacy you now know each other? No, these are the times that you actually don't know the person because everything has icing on it, icing sugar, what is it? on the cake. It's not the cake itself. It's all the lovey-dovey stuff. It's all the compromising in order to please the other one and get that credit that you're hoping to get because you like that person and the other person is doing the same. So everything seems so perfectly orchestrated because everybody's on their best behavior. But go through it for 6 months at least, then you will begin to know this person or each other because you've been interacted in different settings, in different forums, restaurants, sporting activities, cinemas, social events, and how you behave with public, with events, with challenges, opportunities, and so on. You get to know that person at his or her elements, behaving and interacting with the world based on what he or she has in their consciousness. And you begin to see how their consciousness playing the role in the way they are feeling, acting, reacting, versus only the trimmed up, orchestrated events that for that 1 or 2 hours you guys wanted to be all spiffied up and perfectly behaving and all the ha ha ha, you know, sure, yes, of course, dear, you know, all that. So that's not enough to get to know a person. So give it time and then commit. And I don't know what you mean by commit, you know, that is another story. Commit means you want to sleep with him, or commit means you have already done that, but you want to actually say this is your boyfriend, or this is a committed relationship. So I hope that was something for you to ponder on. All right. Let's see, I gotta go back and find you guys here. Guys, the response I gave to one of our friends here that hoped us to have a lot more subscribers, don't forget, that was a very good idea. It just came to me. If you guys know editors, newspapers, channels of some kind, television, radio, you have friends, or you just don't know anybody, just approach them, their news, just put the words out about the segments that are really helpful to you. You think that this video, and put that link for them, say, look at this guy, look at this channel, da 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 da, and that's the promotion. What is coming from real people, not me calling and say, hey, listen, I pay you, come and advertise for me. In this way, you guys actually are doing, and they will be interested to know what you're talking about, and that could help us out, really shoot us up, because that's what we want. We want recommendations from outside to come to the channel. So let's, you know, think about it. If you can do it, that would be great. Okay, there is Paul, and then after that we were with Tiffany, and after Tiffany what happened? I lost you guys. I was at Tiffany. There it is. Tiffany says, oh, I forgot to say I'm 43. Divorced in 2010 after 15 years. I'm in East Lake, Ohio. Yeah, 43 is a beautiful age for a woman. She's full of wisdom, and she knows what to do, what to leave, what her lifestyle is, should be, how to keep fit, how to eat, not to eat, what are good, what, you know, all that experience, and then she's still young. So you just take your time and research before you kind of jump in head first. But in the meantime, enjoy yourselves. You know, you don't have to wait for something definitely perfect before you can, you know, have a normal relationship. Through that normal relationship, you will find out if that is your cup of tea or not. Now, having said that, I would like to have a sip here. Okay. Now, Tiffany says how I know what I'm looking. Okay, good. Now, Bernard, here we are. Bernard says, eat like a caveman, meat for days. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't sit well with me. Paul says, it was proven, or what does XD means, guys? It was proven that cavemen were, oh, I see. The cavemen were eating lots of tuberculose as well, plants, tubercules as well, plants similar to potatoes. I see. Okay. Life is Good says, let's see, where's Life is Good? Life is Good is in Norway or Japan. I'm not sure. Life is Good says, oh Mehran, you are such a great man. Thank you. And thank you for sharing your wisdom so often. My pleasure. And remember, guys, I tend to forget when you guys come back and ask questions, remind me where you're tuning in from and how old you are. And, you know, of course, some of you is clearly, I can see it's a woman or man. Otherwise, if you don't have a picture or screen name doesn't let me know, then let me know where you tune in, how old you are, a man or woman. Wonderless says, my last relationship was very toxic as the woman was super flirty and cheated emotional. Oh yeah, that's not a real good situation when a woman is flirty with other guys, and that is a shortcoming of her, not yours. Obviously she's constantly looking for confirmation, affirmation, and she doesn't have enough confidence, and she thinks just her sexuality is the only thing she's got going for her. And those are the kind of women you really want to stay away with, because they're not confident and they are not sure themselves, and they comply with all kind of weirdos out there that they're hitting on them, and just to get that that is so important to them, they discuss things or they reciprocate in conversation, and they may not actually have any necessarily sexual interest in anybody else, but the idea of it, that by interacting with them, it gives that guy the idea that she's interested in, and then that pisses you off, because you as a man want to let people out there know that this is my girlfriend and she is for me, she chose me and she likes me, and she's not going to interact overly with you guys other than some cordial hello, whatever it is that is appropriate. But when they become so flirty with the other guys, it gives even though they may not have any meaning about it, this girlfriend of yours, but the other guys naturally takes that as a signal that she's interested, and that makes you look a little bit, in your opinion, I'm just telling what you guys have in your mind, not that you should think this way, but this is what you probably pisses you off, that you think that in the mind of the guy who's kind of flirting with yours or getting response from his discussion with her, and she's flirting with the guy, that you are not as good as he is. And since you're conditioned to be compared all your life, that pisses you off. And when you tell her that, she says, oh, what do you mean? You're jealous. I'm just conversing with people. But if you happen to do the same thing and flirt with other girls or reciprocate to the flirt of other women towards you, she's gonna have your head. So it's not a equal treatment in understanding this. If it's bad, then it's bad for both of you. If it's good, then both of you should do, and then she shouldn't say anything. So that is probably something that you need to discuss with her and make her understand what it means to you, what she's doing, and what it means to the person that she's actually so innocently, as she says, she's just interacting or flirting, because she is trying to gain interest or brownie points or be popular, and that's what she's actually giving. She's paying with the flirting, that's her currency, to buying attention. And if she has that need, well, that's not the right girl that you want to build, because it's going to be just tense for you, because we men, who would like to see the woman is flirting with another man, but yet she's with you? Because what signal is that other man is getting? I mean, a man gets a signal from a woman depending on how the woman is responding to his greetings or his conversation. If the response is the way it should be, it would be taken one way, and if the response is in different way, it would be taken different way, and that would set the tone for that person's next move. So the woman should be aware that how you interact with another man other than your boyfriend or your husband is going to give a certain signal to that man, which would set his intention and his next move towards you, which it could make things complicated or make things actually very clear by you having given the right signal. That means be cordial and stay away, and you set the tone because you are committed or involved with somebody else. Unless you do that, men are programmed to pursue, to hunt, to look for a mate, and so they will think that you're available, and they're not going to have enough decency in their heads to say that, well, she's with somebody else, I should not even go up there. Because if that rule was being honored, then nobody would have any kind of extra difficulties in their relationships, because as soon as other men would know that this woman is in relationship with somebody, they would behave and stay out of pursuing her. Just an unwritten law. And if a woman knew that that guy has a girlfriend or a wife, the woman naturally would decide not to give any signal or any approach that would mean she's interested with that guy. These are all unwritten laws. If we would adhere to these laws, then relationships would not be so easily broken or endangered or challenged because some other girls are paying so much attention to you while you're in a relationship, or other guys are paying so much attention to this girl knowing that she's also in a relationship. But then she would be enticed. Oh, so many guys are after me, so maybe my guy is not that good, maybe that. Or the guy will say, oh, so many girls are after me, so maybe my girlfriend is not that great, maybe I should give, because it's enticement, right? And they're always looking to be assured themselves that they're so popular, so they may actually entertain it, which could lead to some decisions of, okay, maybe she will leave this guy and go to this other guy, or maybe he will leave the girlfriend and move to another girlfriend, because the interests are so there. Everybody is not responding to any kind of a ethical behavior. So it's just something to perhaps have the back of your mind. Now, Life is Good says, oh, Mehran, you're such a great man. Oh, I see, I read that. But, I like reading that sort of stuff. Fluffing me ego. Wanderlust says, my last relationship was very toxic. Okay. We that was the one we were talking about. The woman was super flirty and cheated emotionally. Now I think I'm losing trust in any woman I meet. No. Now, don't go that far. Don't go that far. You look at a bushel of apple, there are a few of them, it's got worms in them, and they're, spoiled, and they got, rotten spots on them. But that doesn't mean the whole bushel is bad. Just because they're all apple doesn't mean, one or two apple is like that, the rest of them are, no, don't. Listen, it's true, there are lots of women who are slutty and they're not really sure of themselves and behaving badly and terrible manners and looking for money, looking for things that is not really what you're looking for. But that doesn't represent all the women in the world. They're beautiful, wonderful, classy, well-mannered, educated, conscientious, high quality, wise, fit, everything women out there. Millions of them. Just because you haven't met them, that doesn't mean that you should substitute all these other encounters that you had which were below your standards to be the representation of a woman everywhere. No. And so also there is so many guys that are assholes and they don't behave well and treat their girlfriends properly with respect and love and attention and so on, but they're just not of good quality. But that doesn't represent all the other guys that are out there that are looking and doing their best to be the best they can be, their own best version, and respectful, and try to be as well-mannered as possible and treat their girlfriends, and they're looking for good, decent girlfriends. So there's so many, lot more good people in this world, and well-mannered and classy people in this world than not. At least you should open your eyes to look for the ones that you're looking for, not to focus on the ones that somehow she was slutty enough that attracted you, but now you don't like the manners because she didn't have it, but you were attracted to her sexuality, and suddenly your own bad choices, you want to call that the representation of woman. No, you chose the bad apple. You were enticed with her looks or whatever it is that she represented. That doesn't mean that because of your choice and your shortcomings in a choosing right, then that would mean what you chose represents all the other women out there. No, go fix yourself and fix your own selection process, which I have a video, by the way, on the channel. Says, let's look at how to pick a good girlfriend, or update your selection process and things like that. So now, be fair, both women and men. They're garbage around and they're high quality around. If you're a high quality person looking for quality, then look for quality. Don't just look at someone who's got, oh, nice, high heels and all that, and gorgeous, and then suddenly think that she also got all the other criteria that makes a woman real woman. The appearance is just that, appearance. For God's sake, you want to buy a cake, you look at the look of it, you say, I like the look, but then you read the ingredients before you buy it, right? But we want to get a girlfriend, you just say, oh yeah, she's got the high heels and she's got all that fitness and all that. Okay, that's good enough. Then what about the ingredients? That means for a period of time, you got to get to know each other's consciousness. See how she's been put together, how she will see how you've been put together. And on that level, you see if you can bond. And then you see, okay, now, the presentation, the look of it is good, and the ingredients are good. I buy the cake. Means that you commit yourself to get to know more about each other. That's how you go about it. Otherwise, especially we men can easily make mistakes. We run on our hormones. We love women. The men who love women. So that actually comes from their hormones, and if they act on that, they will miss the quality of the woman based on what keeps the relationship together. They only go for the intimacy part, the sexual part, the program for procreation part. That's not where the relationships really hold. That's only the initial attraction to get to know each other. That's one part of selection process. But the bigger part that holds and makes something out of the relationship is all about learning about each other, which comes through time. And same thing, vice versa, for women who should be careful when they choose a man. It should be based on, what the man is providing or can provide only. That's one part of it. The other part would be, what is this person has put together? Is he going to be unselfish? Is he going to be proper? Is he going to be creating a safe environment for me? Is he going to be fair, or is he going to try to dominate you and because of the money or whatever that he has? So don't just choose your guy based on provisions or based on what comforts that you may get out of that relationship. See if that person, you're living with the person, not the things that the person has. You're having a relationship with the person, not with the things that the person has, both men and women. So focus on if that person really has developed himself or herself to a level that you can have a relationship with. Safe, kind, cordial, cooperative, and harmonious relationship. That doesn't come just because somebody looks good or somebody is wealthy or whichever or both. Okay, now, talked about that enough. Let's go and see. Robert says, Mehran, why do you think people get sugar craving at night due to feeling lonely or feeling scared? They get sugar craving. What's your opinion on that? Again, you know that I'm not a doctor, and therefore my response to this question is only about what I think or what I have read. As you want the real answer, go ask your doctor. But having said that, you know, sugar gives you a high, and sugar is brain's food. So when you are afraid or anxious or not settled, not relaxed, well, you want something to give you that relaxing feeling, and sugar is a comfort food that makes you feel high and hopeful and energetic. And the problem with it is that once you feel that way, then after a short while that comes down, and then you want to go back up and you have more sugar. And so basically that's why you crave the sugar, because you feel depressed. When you feel depressed, you always go to eating, and mostly you have chocolate and things because it makes you feel good. And that temporary feeling good that you get from sugar makes you want to crave it, and makes you want to crave it more after you feel, oh yeah, I felt good. The idea of doing something because you feel bad, you think you don't know how to make yourself feel good. And usually people think eating is going to go in there and do something, because there's no other thing that they can do. They don't know what else to do, so they feel they can fix it by eating. They even can, some people feel they can be fit by eating, because they feel like they're not in the right fitness that they want to be, and they don't know what to do. They're lazy, or they don't have the opportunity to go and exercise, and they feel like, okay, they're gonna do something about it, and that doing something about the only thing they can do is eat something. So they feel that they're doing something about it, but they don't know they're actually adding to their weight. So this idea of feeling lonely and depressed, you want to be high, you want to be happy, and sugar does give you that feeling of being high and happy, energetic, and then you think that's a remedy. And because it makes you feel good, you think it's actually doing something good for you on that department that your challenge is. And then you do more of it. So the best thing is to switch the eating that you think the eating is, and you pick sugar, you switch it to some celery sticks or some carrots or some vegetable, or so at least that eating thing goes away, and you're full now, you don't even want to eat anything, as let alone sugar. And in that way, at least you will, you know, reduce the amount of sugar that you take just because you're depressed. Then another thing you want to do, you definitely go do exercise. Talk to your doctor if you're fit, if you're safe for you, to your fitness level, do exercise. Because when you do exercise, body falls into a natural rhythm that actually doesn't want junk. If you've noticed, every time you've gone to exercise, after exercise, unless it was a heavy workout that you need some sugar to kind of get that repair taking place. But usually after normal exercise, like tennis or soccer, or even, you know, gym fitness, but light fitness, you don't want junk. You don't eat chips afterwards. You don't eat chocolates. You have regular feed, because your body doesn't ask for it. Your body is smart. The dumb one is us, that because we're depressed or we want to be a little bit high in sugar or energy, we go for these wrong foods because we're depressed, or we want some quick response to some feeling that we have. But the body is smart. When you keep exercising, the body actually rejects garbage and junk. So if you increase your exercise, I think you will not feel depressed, because that exercise gives you that dopamine, and then socializing with friends and seeing the whole environment of the, I don't know, team, the sports they do, or the gym, the friends, the oxytocin is created, and then the serotonin and opioid and all that joins in because of the activities that you have, and you feel high enough, you're not depressed anymore. And when you're not depressed anymore, you don't want the sugar, which usually you crave when you're depressed, because you want to fix something and feel good. When you already feel good, then you don't need the sugar to make you feel good. So perhaps that would be something that you can consider along with your research and so on. Chris says, hello Mehran from UK. Hello dear, good to see you. And Steven says, hi again, 35-year-old from California. You have helped me so much in the past, so much so that I am great. Good. I'm healthy and feel like I have almost fully gotten over my breakup. Now I have kids. Wonderful. Wonderful. With my ex, and she has seen how healthy I am, and her new relationship is falling apart, and she comes to me for relationship advice. Well, you know what to do. Send her to this channel. We need subscribers. Ultimately, I care for her and I will always love her, but I don't need her because I realized what ended between us was out of my control, and I will be happy no matter what, because I have learned that happiness comes from within. Good for you. Good for you. A big good for you, Stephen. Be helpful to her. It's okay and it's good. Especially she's a mother of your children. You want to create that level of comfort for the children. And also, at one time you guys loved each other, and now you have children, so there's no reason to hate each other. She can be free to find whoever she wants, and you can be free to find whoever you want. But just don't fall into the trap of, by giving her advice and helping, feeling that now she owes you something, or you have a certain kind of a permission or carte blanche to, or allow yourself to kind of fall in love with her, or want to. Just don't do that. Just do it because you want to do good, but continue your personal life. Continue your personal life, and so on. And help your children, be a great father, as obviously you are, and be a good support to your ex-wife, and that is perfectly fine. That's how it should be. Now, Stephen continues, says, so my question is, it's wrong to help her? No, I guess I just answered it. No, it's not wrong. Is it wrong to give her advice? No, basically it will be hard for you to give her advice. It wouldn't be like natural, but you know, just give her advice to the matters that you think it's, you know, you feel comfortable to give advice. And it's okay to give her advice, not a problem. But, you know, don't have to get involved too much, but yeah, it's fine. Help her. I have to say that I have become numb to her. Say she loves him. It's been 6 months since the split. Well, obviously there are reasons that she thinks she loves the guy. Maybe it's her own shortcoming, not because the guy is so good or so wonderful. Obviously there's something there that, yeah, you help her as much as you can, but don't be too don't fret too much of her life, because it's her responsibility. But be there for her if she needs to, and do give your advice as best as you can, but don't be overly you know, spend time on that. Be there for her, not for, you know, necessarily her relationship. Just be there for your kids, and for her, she wants advice, you help her, but not overly. Otherwise you get sucked into something that it's not so naturally comfortable. If it's just recently you guys are divorced, like in a year or two or something. Okay, let's see, where was I? This thing jumps and I lose where it is. Okay, I have to say I have to become, okay, yeah, okay, good. Stian says, a 26-year-old male from Norway. Hello, Stian. How do you restart your life? You don't have to restart your life. You just have to redirect your life. Life is started. All that what you went through helps you to propel further. Use the good experiences and use the stuff that you learn so not to do those stuff. It's not like you have to restart it, just twig it, you know, redirect it. When you're driving a car and you got lost to your destination, what do? You turn the car off and restart it, or go back and start from the beginning of where you went, you know? What? Lift the car up, go there and start again? No. You lost, you modify the direction. You look at the map, you see now where to go. You don't have to restart it, you just make corrections and use the experience of the road that you came in, so you'll negotiate the rest of the road a little bit better, more wise, better driver. Drive better, more focused. Tiffany. Oops, I forgot to say I'm 43. Oh, I see, we got that one. Robert says, very well said. Thank you for clarity. You're welcome. Nasro said, so my dear Mehrani. Maharani. I've changed my name, didn't you? So the other day I asked you about my relationship, about the age gap. Yes, I remember, because my parents, they're not expected at this guy because he's 47 and you're 20, I remember. And Nasro says, and I love him so much. Well, we talked about it, why you love him. Nasro, 20, I'm in Atlantic City. Yeah, okay. Where do you think you would be when you are 30 years old and he's 57 years old? Answer me this. Because love in its purity is supposed to be for a long time, right? Otherwise it's just lust, right? When you say you love someone, that means you want to spend your life with that person, right? So let's picture this. You're 20, you love a 47. Fair enough. Let's say it's love from both sides. And it's equal, which is not. Because he knows you're 20 and you know he's 47. You think you're nothing and you become something by being with the 47-year-old. And the 47-year-old thinks that he knows a lot, you don't know anything. So that's his level up. At the same time, he's delighted that he's actually sleeping with the 20-year-old, if that happens, or if that's happened, whatever it is. But in reality, it's so out of reality of your needs at that age and the guy's need at 48, 7 age. In fact, I question the wisdom that you think is so great that you're in love with the guy. Wisdom of a 47-year-old that he actually pursues and allows a 20-year-old to actually find herself in love with him, and he encourages it. Because if he is really wise, that you're counting on his age to be a guiding light to this relationship, at age 47 he doesn't see it, that a 20-year-old and 47-year-old is 27 years of difference. And 10 years from now, when you're 30 years old and he's 57 years old, tell me how much in common would you have with the guy then? And if he cannot see it now, with that wisdom supposedly to have, that he actually goes along with the 20-year-old being his girlfriend, well, I wonder, what wisdom are you actually convinced that he has if he can't see that and encourages your love? And you haven't asked yourself, why do you love a 47-year-old? What is it that makes you infatuated? We know what it is. It's that you haven't made anything out of yourself. Right at this moment, you're not accomplished. And then anybody else with some accomplishment feels like, wow. And then you want to share that accomplishment with the age of that person, so you'll feel accomplished. And that you think is love. But in reality, You need to experience life the way you should at this journey from 20 to 30 with a 20 to 30 or 35-year-old person, not experiencing your 20s with someone who was in his 20s 27 years ago, with someone who's 47 right now. It may be all be well and fine right now, genuinely love, for whatever reason, let's say it is. But answer me this, answer yourself. How are you going to feel when you're 25 and he's 52? How are you going to feel when you're 28 and he's 55? And how are you going to feel when you're 30 and he's 57? And then you're 33 and he's 60. So much bigger distance now. You're wiser and he's older. It's stuff that you just want to experience and do, and he just doesn't have any interest in that anymore. Things that he has interest to do, you just find it not really you. So you gotta have wisdom, you gotta have foresight. Don't just think that this will exactly be how you are when you're 25 or 30. You are at this age, and you give it time. Give it about 5 years, and I'll tell you, you're going to say, oh, holy shit, I'm glad I didn't marry, because you will find that that guy, that age difference would have not helped your relationship, would have hindered it. Well, that's the experience. Anomaly exists. So, having said that, let's go to Steven says, my ex was the same way. It was differently hard to deal with that. It didn't take much for her to fall in love. Okay, I lost that one. I lost that. Oh, are you talking to Stian? Okay. Tiffany says, I meant committed relationship. We have not been intimate. He's 54 and has been divorced for 10 years. I see. Well, you know, everything when you're serious to examine a relationship, it can be a committed relationship, yeah. So, if the guy is there for you, and that seems to be a possibility, why not? Give it a try and try to go to the next stage, which is committed relationship. And then that also has its own duration to see how you guys are interacting, and then you go from there, the next step. Yeah, why not? So there's nothing wrong with it that I can see. If that means you've been together for a month, but still, you know, just being committed relationship, that doesn't mean you made your choice. It just means you're now decided to examine each other further by being exclusive, and that's good. And then a while later you get to know more about each other's and each other's consciousness, and then you decide, okay, that seems like, you know, we've taken care of the most of the risk or some of the risk, and then the rest you will figure out on your way, and you deal with it, because nothing is 100% from the beginning anyhow. Can never be so sure about everything before you start anything, because otherwise nobody would start anything, because nothing is for sure at the beginning. At least, but the principles of it, the basics, requirements should be right, like the age difference, or, you know, at least things in common, or, you know, the whole scenario, the whole setup, venue should be at least up to the standard. Nasro said, and I love, yeah, okay, yeah, we discussed that, Nasro. Think it through with what I said. Okay, now, oh, I see, I went back. Juliet says, hey Mehran, girl, 24 years. You didn't say where from. Oh, let's see. Did you? No. I'm left a hard time behind me. I've left a hard time behind me, and I am looking forward after a 7-year relationship. She says my ex-boyfriend was very influencing, and I got really depending of him. But now I start to explore myself and realize that the breakup was very important for myself. But there is still this fear all the time that I never find a good man again, and I'm not able to get children, and this fear stops me of enjoying my life. First of all, journey of life is not supposed to be conditional on having children or not having children. It's just you got to do your best and see if the criteria is correct, the standards are correct for you to have children. Otherwise, just having children by itself at all costs doesn't mean it's going to be the experience that you expected what having children would be. It's like saying, you know, I'm hungry, I gotta eat, so I'm gonna delve into this dog shit here because I see a couple of beans there. Well, maybe that's the reaction for being hungry, to have beans, but not the beans that is in the dog shit. Same thing. I know that's a little bit of exaggerated example. That's all it came to mind. So it doesn't mean just because you want to have children, then you got to have it anyway, and you be desperate about it, and pretty soon you're going to say, hey, you think some guy in the street, hey, listen, you want to have children? Because I really think life is about having children. That's not the way you're supposed to think of it and make yourself anxious about it and then suddenly put up with all kind of shit that just because you're in pursuit of having children rather than in pursuit of having the right experience in relationship and life. You have to have the proper setting before you have the children that you want to have. So that idea should not encourage you to put up with shit. That's what I'm trying to get. So, and the idea that will you ever love another, that's how so silly that is. This is the way of life. Whether you want it or not, you're going to run into somebody else that you like. It's not up to you. It will happen. It happens to everybody. You walk in the street and just think about which one of these people you like. You will like one of them. Let alone if you meet them and they would be the kind of people that you want to get to know. So that's going to happen. Don't start worrying about that sort of thing. And the fact that you haven't seen it lined up or you don't know that it will happen doesn't mean that it won't happen. Human being usually believes what he or she can see or knows about. And since you right now don't see the opportunity, the guys that you could be interested in lining up or in the horizon, you can't see that, and you don't know with some qualified resource that this will happen, then you're not believing it. You think, oh, I can't believe it. Well, because you can't see it and you don't know about it. But neither one means that it's not going to happen. Look, you stand in front of the ocean, you see there's no ship in the ocean. But you say, so I believe there's no ship in the ocean. No, you can't see it because further down where your field of vision cannot reach, there are lots of ships on their way to different places and some of them towards you. But you can't see it. Does that mean that there's no ship in the ocean? No, it just means you can't see what's out there. And no news have come, credible news to tell you that there are ships in the ocean. So you also don't know it. So then you think, oh, there's no ship in the ocean. Because that's all the information you have, and information is limited. Knowledge is limited. And when it's limited, your reactions and your conclusions are going to be not necessarily as it would be. So consider knowledge is limited, information is limited, your field of vision is limited. Just because you don't see or you don't know doesn't mean it's not on its way. It could very well be on its way. It's just not in your field of vision. It will be because that's the way of the river. That's how things flow. They are flowing from this way to that way. Eventually, they would have to pass by you, in front of you. that water coming down. The one on the left that hasn't arrived to you, you can't reach it. The one on the part on the right that is already passed by you, you can't reach it, it's all gone. But they all at one point have been in front of your presence. It passed in front of you. And they will in this case too. And that's when you will see, the possibilities are there. But you don't see it now. But don't conclude that because you don't see it or you don't know it, it won't happen. Well, gee, there's street, there's no cars in it. It doesn't mean there's no car in its way. I just can't see it from this angle. Oh, there's another one. Oh, there's another one. But before it came out, I said, there's nothing. Oh, there's another one. You can't just know everything before you say it can happen. You can't see it and say, okay, now that I can see it, then okay, I believe it. But if I don't see it, I don't believe it. Well, gee, that's not fair, really. I almost poked myself in my eye. Now, I hope that would be something for you to consider. Arizaline. Now, listen, guys. Let's take a short 1-second break and click on the like. Everybody click on the like who haven't. If you have, don't, because you'll take that like away. Click on the like. We need to be visible. We need the algorithm. And remember, we talked about if you know people in newspapers or televisions or radio or some site and that they can, or some editorial that they can promote the channel, that you can talk about how good the channel, the content is, do that and help us to get on the map and get lots more subscribers and so on and so forth. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Now, I've said enough. Let's move on. Arislan Darcia says, tonight I injured myself. Oops. Shucks, I found out my girlfriend has been going out with someone else and told me to leave her alone. What can I do to make this easy and leave her? Why did you injure yourself? Can you please explain what kind of injury? Why did you injure yourself? Why are you nuts? Just because some girl wants to go out with somebody else, you're supposed to think, what happened? What happened to you? So what? So what? Life goes on. You got so many millions and millions of other people and opportunities out there. Why would her behavior have a reflection on you? Her action and behavior and choices is reflection on her. Why would it mean anything that you're demeaned or you change or your life is what? Shattered? What? There's so many other women out there. What's wrong with you? Why would you hurt yourself? Are you nuts? What can I do to make this easy and leave her? It's easy. It's very easy. Number one qualification for some girl to become or have a chance to become your acquaintance or your girlfriend is that she would be loyal and you would be loyal to her. She should like you and want to be with you. Otherwise, if that's not there, that's a deal breaker. That's easy. When a girl doesn't want to be with you for whatever reason, I don't care what, maybe she's nuts or whatever she thinks, she doesn't want to be with you, respect that. Simple. And respect yourself. Because by respecting her choices and not begging and following her, that means you're respecting yourself. And by respecting yourself, then you will choose better next time. And you will expect something from that next girl. Otherwise, what is it that she has that you're after? What? Can she treat your common cold? What power does she have? No. The only thing is that you have intimacy with her. Otherwise, the girl that is not committed to you goes out with somebody else, says she doesn't want to be with you. Why do you want to? Why do you want someone who doesn't want to be with you? You gotta want a girl who wants to be with you. That's number one qualification. So if a girl tells you or goes out with somebody else, that's the end of it. Simple. Simple means have respect for yourself, and that already makes things easy. But if you don't have respect for yourself and only have respect for your genitalia and you just want to have sex and you think, oh, hell broke loose because, then you're not choosing right. You're not thinking right. Have respect for yourself, then you will find girls who are respectable and committed and of good quality, and they want to be with you. If a girl doesn't want to be with you, that's a deal breaker. That's it. As simple as that. It's easy. The reason you think of her so much because you desire her. Don't desire her. Undesire her. Unwant her. Simple. You're the boss. You're in control. Not your desire. Your desire is part of you. But you are the center. You are the boss. You are you. Not your desire. Your desire is supposed to comply with you. Your desire should not be in the hands and under the control of your ego. Your ego wants to be fluffed, therefore encourages your desire to go after things that brings pleasure, and then the ego says, hey, see, she's mine, and I feel good. But in the meantime, you're suffering. Why? Because you have to put up with the girl that is going out with somebody else, just to satisfy your ego. What you say is the hell with the ego, you are my subordinate, hell with the desire, I will choose what I desire or will not just because the steps of desire has been taking place and it's my memory, it's in my memory already, and every time I think of her, those steps that needs to be there before desire is born is already at forefront of my brain, and therefore I desire her again. No, you say, I will decide which and who I will desire or not, regardless of its steps are there in my memory or not. Then you will become in control. Then your ego and your desire will shut up and will follow you rather than you follow your ego and what the ego wants through the desire make you suffer and like something that you shouldn't like this girl. You shouldn't be interested in her, but because your desire already has those steps that needs for desire to be born in your memory, thinks of him and says, oh, all these steps are present, therefore I should desire her. And also because your ego says, no, I want her because I want to feel good about myself. And you say, fuck you, ego, and fuck you, desire. I'm the boss. I don't want to desire her, and I want to please the ego. You guys wait until I decide who is suitable for me. And this girl, because of that behavior, is not suitable for me. That's how you make it easy. It's all up to you. It's not mystic. It's all up to you. Zahin says, Mehran, I think you skipped my... Did I, Zahin? Let's go. Guys, give me one moment. I get a sip. These are really fast moving today. Have you guys all clicked on the like? I hope you have. Gee, I gotta change my glasses. It's too close. Now, Zahin, we're looking for Zahin. Zahin says, I missed his question. Zahin, I can't see you here. Ah, there it is. Zahin says, hello, sir. Hello, dear. In my experience, I've always seen women love money the most. Of course, money is very important, but should we prioritize money over good character or other moral values? I don't understand, Zahin. You're a man, right? And you say you've always seen women love money. So women love money. So why are you asking? I know money is important, but should we prioritize money over good character? Over good character, that means what? You're looking for a good character woman or a rich woman? I don't understand it. She is the one who is looking for money. So why are you asking that you should choose between money or good character? I think what you want to say, correct me if I'm wrong, I know, actually I can't understand it. Please, Zahin, take a look and see. It doesn't make sense to me. If women you think are most interested in money, why are you asking that should you choose money or character? I don't get it. Okay, so until that, I go back to, so pose it again and write it again and I'll see it. Okay, Zahin? Thank you. Let's see where I was. Juliet, we discussed. Okay. So, Tanya, hello Tanya, says, hi Mehran, thanks for delivering another useful talk. Okay, good. Tanya says, how to create good mental habits as it letting a negative thought go and entertain thoughts that will take the day and the future in a positive direction. Why is rumination so easy to fall into? Okay, look, Tanya, this is all about transient thoughts. There's a book I've written that if you go on my site, mindthatseekstruth.com, click on the books, and then click on me, click on transient thoughts and me, the book Transient Thoughts and Me. It will open up. You'll see table of contents. And then you'll click again, it will open and let you read a sample chapter. Read a sample chapter. And that book addresses transient thoughts and why your thoughts go into negative and what to do with them, what they are, and so on and so forth, elaborately. I don't think there is any book that I've seen that addresses transient thoughts in that way. So take a look, because that what you're asking is a whole big topic. I don't think we can fit it in here, especially today. So, and in this discussion, we did have some discussion about negative thoughts. We talked about OCD, we talked about negative thoughts, what to do with them, what they are, why they're there, in some way. So, and it was, I think, asked by Robert, if I'm not mistaken. So when I re-uploaded, if you didn't hear it, and please do take a look at it, and do go on the videos. I haven't talked about transient thoughts too much, but the book Transient Thought and Me does address it pretty elaborately in all fronts. Actually, you know, pretty elaborately. Let me just do a quick search here for you. Let's see. I don't think I have anything to do with transient thoughts. I mean, I have not come up with any discussion on that on the videos. So I'm going to do a search and see if I have. I think I may have. I'm not sure, because so many videos now I don't remember really what I have or not. But if you maybe search for just the word transient thoughts, you may get something. So, but let me do that now, because I'm right on that page. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go. Transient thoughts. Let's see. Ooh. Okay, we have how can I forgive myself? Okay, with that. How to empty your mind and let the thoughts go. That could be. Let's see. Let me put this link here. This put link here. Hang on, guys. I'll get to you guys, because that's a little bit difficult to get it. Okay. Now that's one here. I just put the link up there for you, and let's see if there's anything else on the list. I think you better do check the book, because I think the bulk of it is going to be there. Or just search for transient. Oh, there it is. The introductory. There's the introductory video with transient thoughts. Yeah, you got to go and take a look at that transient thought thingy, the book, because I think all of it is in there. Or just search for transient thoughts on my channel and see what comes out. The one that I sent you, you can try that and see what it is, because I don't remember what's in it. So, Juliet from Germany. Okay. Did I answer your question, Juliet? I think I did. Ah, yeah, I did. Philly says, do you have audiobooks, Mehran? No, dear, I don't. You know, if I want to do it, I will do them. if and when we have enough subscribers, that there would be enough economics realized from the channel, so then I could dedicate more time, because that's also pretty costly. And I would like to do the maybe I would do the reading myself, or if I want to hire some actor to do it, that will cost some bucks. So I don't know, eventually maybe, but not at the moment. We are still trying to grow, and we don't have that kind of a resources to do what needs to be done. Okay, Nasra says, my dear, I really understand what you're saying. It's true, but can't leave him and trust me, not with him cause of money, but he's really a nice guy and I'm deeply in love with him. Okay, well, you make your own choices, Nasro, dear. I'm not here to tell you what to do, what not to do. These are just responses to the questions that you ask. Now, if you want further discussion on this, then please go on my site, mind@6truth.com, and make an appointment for a Skype consultation, and we will chit-chat on it one-on-one, explore it together. Otherwise, it's involved, and more than this, I don't know what to help you in this, because generally I've covered it, but any more, perhaps we can do a one-on-one on Skype, and then that would perhaps make things more clear for you. Otherwise, just it'd be difficult for me to break up with him, and I'm not sleeping with him, my dear. He wants to marry me, and he's really respected me so much. Look, I know what you're saying. You say, therefore, it will be difficult to me to break up with him, and I'm not sleeping with him, my dear. He wants to marry me, and he's really respected me and so much. What kind of... Listen, Nasro, think it through. What kind of a power, or equal power, equal stage will you be sharing with a 47-year-old man when you marry him? He's going to be all over you, telling you what to do, what not to do. And because he's older, you're going to respect him to begin with. Because he's nice to you, you're going to respect him to begin with. Because you love him, you're going to be respecting him. Before you know it, you're just simply doing nothing but obeying what he tells you to do. At age 20, you have no power whatsoever in front of a 47-year-old man who is so kind and nice to you. And I'm not saying anything bad about him, because I don't know anything about him. But a 47-year-old man could be just as a wonderful angel, as you say that this man is, or could be some asshole who's playing a real good game, or he could be genuinely good now, but when he gets married to you and you're totally by, I don't know, your culture or laws or whatever, however it is, I don't know how what law you live under, I don't know where you are, I forgot. Then he could be dominated. You could be dominated just because he's 47 and 20. Mentally, you don't have that power. Financially, you don't have that power. You're in love with the guy because he's nice to you, makes you feel important, because as age 20, you all want to be important. And some older guy comes along and respects you and opens the door for you and treats you like you're a 40-year-old woman, and you feel like, wow, I got all these echelons because a 47-year-old man is paying all this respect to me. And suddenly you feel elated, and you think, wow, he's such an angel. No, it just makes you feel and grasp the things that you want. You see other older ladies have the respect that they have, and suddenly you elevate yourself through this older person's attention, and you feel like, oh, that's really the right person that you should be in. If you think of it this way, and think that what happens when you get married, it will not be in equal life. It is impossible, pretty much impossible, for a 47-year-old man and a 20-year-old girl. You're not still even a woman. I apologize. I don't mean to demean you, but you're in your teens. You just turned 20. You're still learning how to be a woman. You're a female. You're a girl. But to be a woman, you need that wisdom and elaboration and power, which comes through accomplishing yourself. Your education, your job, your experiences, life, and all that. You don't have any of that. So naturally, you will be totally dominated by this older man in a marriage, more than usually men try to have that role. And you will abide by it, because you don't have any power. You're just looking at the person who's giving you this echelon. And in order to keep this importance, you will comply even further, because there is no way for you to feel important by yourself, on yourself. Only you're feeling all these good feelings. He's respecting you, he's doing this, and you feel so good, and you feel elated. And it's a shortcut for you to get all those things that it takes years for women to genuinely get it. But you want to get it through this, and you think that's the right thing to do. I'm telling you, in my opinion, it's not. Simple. And I know how you feel, but you got to make the decision yourself. I can't do that for you, dear. Tiffany says, I'm so glad I was finally able to watch your live stream tonight. This was great. Thank you. Hopefully my schedule will allow me to catch more. Thank you again. You're quite welcome, dear. Glad that you could make it here, and we are delighted to have had you join us here. Anybody who hasn't liked the channel, the live talk, or hasn't subscribed, please do right now. Click on that that little monk that is doing meditation waterfall to subscribe. Maybe I should. Do you think people understand that is for subscription, or should I change that to the word subscribe? And the ones who haven't liked the live talk, please do, because we're going to wrap it up soon, as soon as I finish all the questions. Arislan says, cheers for the advice. I shouldn't have hurt myself. That girl keeps telling to leave and or give her space over the few weeks. I must respect her, right? Yeah, you must respect her, but you also must respect yourself. If somebody is giving you all that kind of a hard time, what relationship is that? What does she think she is? If you've been a good person and you guys were together and now she's changed her mind, okay, fine, go on. Don't suck up to her that much. I don't know how old you are. You didn't tell me where you're tuning in from and how old you are, and that was the rule, right? Come on, tell me where you're tuning in from. I want to know my demographic and how old you are. I want to know how far I'm reaching, and at the same time, have respect for yourself and move on. There's so many wonderful girls out there. Come on, don't be like that. I think you're very young and it's just your first girlfriend or something, and suddenly you think there's no more out there. There's so many wonderful girls out there. Just open your eyes. Take the virtual reality goggle off of your face, so the limited frame of vision that you have in the virtual reality goggle on your head will be removed, and you'll see there is a world out there. So get your thoughts out of the memory, thinking only about this girl, focusing only on this girl, and then you will see there's so many wonderful opportunities and girls and people out there that you can be friend with and socialize, and then find wonderful and more suitable girlfriends for yourself, which they're all out there. But you gotta go and look for it. You can't sit on your ass and hope that, oh, okay, this one, I gotta have this one. Why? You're lazy, you can't go find somebody else? Don't be. There's a lot more better girls who won't play this game with you, or she's just changed her mind. Fine, that's her right. We all develop and change as we grow, and you could have changed your mind a little later on. Who knows? Now, she changed it, and then you should say, whoever doesn't want to be with me is not qualified to be with me, because that's one of the qualifying characteristics and disqualifying characteristics. If she doesn't want to be with you, that's the end of it. Then you go on with somebody who does. Find somebody who does. Okay, now Zahin says, sorry, I meant, of course, money is very important, but shouldn't they, the woman I have known, prioritize good character, loyalty, or moral values over money? Yeah, but that's not up to you. The way that the life and media and the facts of life has conditioned women and trained them is to look for money. And that doesn't mean all women are looking for money, but the ones that you're talking about, I'm talking about. The ones that are looking for money, I've been conditioned and learned it from all these movies and medias and the lifestyles that is being promoted, and how they have seen that money has brought comfort. Well, they could not have relied on the relationship, but they could rely on the money, because when the relationship doesn't work, they will go through the divorce and they get half of the stuff, and therefore maybe they should look for somebody who's rich just in case it didn't work. But in other ways, yes, you're right, they should be looking for a good relationship. They should be looking for character. They should look in manners and morals and unselfishness and the consciousness, the quality of the consciousness, but not just the money, because there's so many people who have lots of money and they're pure assholes. And there are lots of people who actually don't have much money, but they're wonderful people. And there are lots of people who have lots of money, and there are also wonderful people. And there are lots of people who don't have money, and they are assholes. So there's all kinds of people. So you can't really say that certain way and certain, the ones who have money are not as good a quality as the other ones, or the ones who don't have money are definitely have good qualities. No, they're all mixtures. What it is that the women are not stupid. They're looking for somebody with good qualifications, good manners, and also money. Well, nothing wrong with that. So in that way, you better start making some money now that you have the good qualifications of manners. But you're right. A good woman really would focus on the manners and character of the person, because that is what keeps the marriage together, not the money. Money doesn't have characteristics. Money doesn't have manners. Money doesn't have, proper thinking and consciousness. Money is a tool. So, if the tool is in the hand of another tool, which means a person without character and manners and morality and so on, well, what good is it anyhow? It's a nonsense life. But if a person who doesn't have money but does have manners and morals and unselfishness and love and kindness and care and so on, that's where is going to help the relationship to last much longer, and they will grow together and they live their lives. So I hope that would be something that we could cover. And Tanya says, thank you, I have the book, but learn better from listening. Okay. Well, Tanya, if you really are interested, we can talk about transient thoughts, but it's a very elaborate subject. It's not just can be done for about 1 or 2 minutes or 10 minutes. Book an appointment with me on Skype consultation, and we'll go through your specific questions about transient thoughts, and we'll get through it together. And that is perhaps the best way to do. Now, Robert says, can we add that Mehran's quote to the t-shirt? Hey ego, hey desire, I'm the boss, so fuck you. My new mantra. Yes, and by the way, guys, the ones I have taken that t-shirt link out because I ordered a t-shirt myself and I never got it. So when I got in touch with them, they said that it is lost by some postal service problems, and therefore they were very reasonable. They gave all my money back, and because it took so long, and apparently the postal company had not done their job, but then I couldn't wait it, and so therefore we decided that we part with that venture. So I don't have that there, and I will soon have another company to represent my t-shirts, and therefore that would be how we're going to go about it. So I suggest that you guys wait until I have a new link for you for t-shirts. So because I don't have that cooperation with that company anymore, and there is no site for me there, I asked them to take that down. So now, moving forward, Philly says, thank you for the reply. You're welcome. You should definitely try to make them and read them yourself. Love your voice and videos, and not an actor. Okay, yes, all right. But that means time, Philly. That means I gotta have time to do that, and resources, and we are working towards it. Once I get enough, I don't know, 500,000 subscribers, that it could actually generate enough income for me to dedicate more time, or at least we will end up having a lot more consultations, which they're growing by the day. Then we would be able to commit more time, because that would be the direction that I'm going, and I'm hoping to bring that to fruition. And Philly says, I don't know what involved with publishing, but the recording you could just use anything, phone, computer, and save the files to publish later. Fingers crossed. Thank you again. You're welcome. Yeah, that could be right. Thank you. That could be right. But still, it's going to take lots of focus and time. You know, the Breakup Pain Handbook is 600 pages. Me, My Psyche, and I is 360 pages. And Transient Thoughts on Me is, I think it's about 200 pages. So it's going to be lots of reading. And I think I'll probably lost in it. Don't remember what I wrote. So I'm going to read them first and then read them second time to sound good. So now, let's see. Oh, tea. Philly says, or I would pay you direct to Dropbox or email the files so I can listen that way, MP3. Okay, we can discuss that, Philly, for sure. Like, clicked, plus the bell. Okay, good. And I have already directed 3 friends to your channel who have found it helpful for their breakups too, and will continue to do so. Well, that's wonderful, Philly. Philly is now officially recruited a few people. We just imagine if we each of us could do 3 people, and then they would recruit 3 people. Before we know it, with the 14,000 subscribers that I already have, and if most of them are still active, then we would pretty soon hit 1 million very quickly. Thank you, Philly. I appreciate that. And Philly, did you say where you're tuning in from and how old you are? I assume you are a lady, unless I'm mistaken. Arislan says, I'm 34-year-old and from Maldives. Oh, Maldives. I've heard so many wonderful things about Maldives. Goodness, in Maldives, there's so many beautiful women out there. What are you crying about? Go. Go find somebody else. Juliet says, what do you think about staying friends when you did get hurt very hard? A chance to have a close friendship, or shouldn't you trust somebody who is a deal breaker? I'm sorry, if you've been hurt very hard, why do you want to be friend with that person who hurt you very hard? I don't get it. Or are you saying because you got hurt very hard, you don't want to be in a relationship with anybody and you just want to be friend with someone? Is that what you're saying? If that's what you're saying, well, being friend is not the same as being in a relationship. So what's good of being friend if you want to be in a relationship? And if you have been hurt very bad, why you want to be friend with that person who hurt you very bad? Either way, walk away. Find somebody, you know. So Abdullah Al-Ghamidi, I think I'm pronouncing it right, I hope. He says, I've got problem that my girlfriend is the kind that looks for an attention. Should I stop being jealous? Because I think if I'm jealous in this level, I won't find any girlfriend if I'm that level. Well, you know, it is one thing to not to be jealous, and it's another thing if your girlfriend is flirty with these other people. I mean, what's the reason to be flirty? You got to discuss that with her. Say, listen, how would you feel if I'm flirty with other women? And if you feel it's okay, then that's why you're doing it. But if you feel it's not okay, then that's how I'm feeling it when you're doing that sort of stuff. So discuss it with her, you know, because being jealous, it just bothers you. But discussing with her and making her understand that if the roles were reversed and you would be flirting with other girls, how would she feel? And then perhaps she would get it. But if she's flirty, that means she's just not confident enough about herself. And why would you want to be with a woman who's not confident of herself? Because if she's flirting today, believe me, when later on you guys become just ordinary to each other because you've gone through a certain amount of, a term of relationship, and nothing is novel anymore, then she's just going to be leaving you to this one and then that one. And so just discuss it with her, make it clear for her. Philly says, nope, not a lady, lol, 33. Okay, 33-year-old UK guy. Okay, good. Because, I cannot see any picture, and the Philly TTT doesn't really tell me about, something, it doesn't tell me about who I'm talking. So I just guessed Philly. I thought maybe it's short for Phyllis, or I don't know, it could be short for something else, but not much help. So I just guessed. So Abdullah says, I meant attention from other boys. Yes, I understand. And I feel that it's just a matter of time until she will find someone who's better than me according to her superficial criteria. Yes, you're right. So should I break it now? Listen, you got to have respect for yourself. If you are looking for something else other than real girlfriend and friendship, like intimacy, if you're sleeping with her and you enjoying that, well, I don't know if you can be okay with that. Or you might say, well, forget the jealousy. I want to have the intimacy. Well, that's your decision. But if you really are looking for genuine relationship, well, that's not a relationship. Because if somebody is really interested in that relationship, they wouldn't be flirting. So obviously, at least, maybe when it happens without really intending, it sounds like it one or two times, but usually it would be very focused on not flirting or not letting this kind of impression with other people that they're actually flirting or allowing the other guys to flirt with them. But if they're not doing that, that means they're not really committed to relationship. What kind of a business is this, that you're in a relationship and then you also start flirting with other guys? What kind of a thing is it? Obviously she's not committed. So on that note, talk to her. Say, listen, dear, if we are having a mutual interest and we are started to have a relationship, if you're not happy with this relationship, I'm not interested to be a second fiddle. And I have my criteria. And for my criteria, I don't like a girl who flirts with other guys. And just imagine if I flirt with other girls. How would you feel? And in that case, if you're not willing to understand that one of the criteria to a successful relationship is for people to be focused on each other and not allow others to think that they're open field, that they can hit on them or flirt with them or you flirt with them, if you can't stop that and understand that, I don't think there's anything here for us to continue. Because obviously, what would you think if I'm flirting with every girl? Eventually, I'm going to be interested to go one step further than flirting, because flirting starts in a communication, and who knows, maybe there will be different interests other than flirting. So don't give me that BS that, no, I'm just flirting or talking. No, none of that shit. Because you may, which I don't think so, because I think you have some interest that you do this. It's not normal for someone in a relationship also flirt with other guys. But if you are not having any of that intention, well, the others will think that you do, because you're allowing the flirting to take place. And that's not the way to keep a relationship away from flies. So either understand that, or I don't think I would be interested in being in that relationship. So make up your mind. I will be willing to try this, give it a try on this relationship, if you understand the importance of the manners that in which we should conduct ourselves when we are in a relationship. If you don't, well, that's fine. I wish you well, and I will go on my way and find another girlfriend. That's very simple and cordial, and at the same time honest. Now, Juliet says, new to what, Juliet? 7 years I had somebody who understood me so well, but he went back to his ex. Although we bought a house together, he didn't even talk about problems, just like game over, sorry. So I got, oh, that's stupid. So I got hurt. But he still knows me, and I wonder if someday he would be a friend who can be there for me. Why do you want somebody who has already shown he cannot be reliable? Even if you wanted to go, that's fine, but he should have discussed it with you and, you know, discuss why and so on. At least you guys could have tried, or at least would understand the decision and all that, but he didn't do any of that, you say. So why do you want to be friends with someone who couldn't be reliable even to the point of friendship? You guys were in a relationship, had a house together, and he still didn't treat you as a good friend to discuss the matters with you that was concerning him, or whatever was happening with him, and suddenly he went to wherever he went. So so I don't think why. The question is, why should you want to be there? Why should you want the guy to be there for you? What for? There's so many other guys that you can perhaps try and see. You know, it doesn't mean that every other guy is going to be like this guy. So no, just move on with your life. You know, you don't want somebody who's already been in a relationship with you and then turn it to friend. You start getting to know someone, you're friends, and then you end up in a relationship and then see where it goes. Not that you already get into friendship, a relationship, and then it breaks up and then you want to go back to be friend. Then what? You're going to get to beginning to get to know each other and then you unknow each other? You're going backward? That doesn't make sense. So, okay, now let's see. Looks like we have finally hit all the questions, and thank you very much, guys. Love you all. Thank you for being here, sharing your time with me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and try to promote this thing through the channels, through the radio shows, through the TV people that you may know, through the news, or through some kind of a editorial, whatever it is that you can do. And all guys, here Mehran, I was here listening all that time. Just wanted to listen today. For next time I will have a question. Okay, that's good. Okay guys, love you all. Thanks for being here, and look forward to talk to you again. And don't forget, part of your job, if you really think that this channel is important and useful to you, is also help with the promotion of it. Share the videos in your social media, and do the likes and comments, and also see what influences and what connections you have in media, in television, in radio show, in editorials, in newspapers. Introduce it to them. They're looking for news, and have them check out the channels, and maybe they write something about it or make a program or something, and then we go from there. That could help us to put us on the map if you really think this channel is worthy. Things can happen if you put your work into it, and I hope that you all will. We can all end up reaching more people and make this channel to be something that we all hope it to be. All right, talk to you soon. Take good care of yourself and others, and I thank you for being here with me. Bye for now.